Today, Bitcoin and Ether are in the green as crypto's comeback from last week's sell-off continues. CleanSpark gets a boost as the Bitcoin miner says it's adding AI compute to its business model. And Michael James of Douro Labs and Pyth Network breaks down how they're bringing more financial and economic data on-chain. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Jordan Smith. Digital currencies are in the green this morning as the market looks to recover from the recent selling pressure in October. By noon Eastern, Bitcoin crossed back above the $113,000 mark, and that price was rising quickly, so check out CNBC.com for the latest. Meanwhile, Ether is also in the green this morning, trading at $4,083, while XRP rose to $252. Also, taking a quick look at shares of CleanSpark. That stock is down about 2.5%, a little past noon. Shares of the company spiked yesterday after CleanSpark announced it was pivoting away from pure play Bitcoin mining and will add high performance computing to its business. This is, of course, part of a broader trend among these companies as Bitcoin mining rewards have shrunk, energy costs have risen, and AI deals continue to make headlines. All right, let's jump right to our main story. As adoption of crypto and blockchain grows, so too does the need for on-chain data. I spoke with Michael James, head of institutional business development at Douro Labs, which is a core contributor of the Pyth Network, about the network's recent deal with Kalshi and the Department of Commerce to bring data on-chain. I want to start with sort of a breakdown of the work you're doing at Douro Labs. You describe yourselves as at the forefront of data aggregation and help decentralize data services. Talk to me about what that means for your business and where you focus.
For sure. So the role that Pyth plays and Oracle's play in powering DeFi is significant. Just as traditional exchanges or venues can't operate without reliable price data, DeFi and blockchain markets can't function without reliable price data either. And legacy data vendors like Bloomberg and Refinitiv just simply weren't built for this new 24/7 cross-asset blockchain native world. Too slow, too expensive, too siloed. They can't handle the underlying blockchain delivery mechanisms. And that's where Pyth comes in. We deliver real-time, first-party financial data directly on-chain, meaning data comes directly from the source, market makers, trading firms, exchanges, of which we now have 125 plus data contributors, including the likes of Jump Trading, Virtu, Jane Street, Susquehanna, DRW, exchanges like SIBO and IEX, GDP and economic data from the Department of Commerce, with several major banks coming soon. And all of this data across crypto, equities, FX rates, commodities, economic data, it powers fair, transparent, and liquid DeFi markets, which is the backbone for efficient price discovery and growth, and really enables DeFi to grow and scale in the first place.
Yeah, I want to talk about some of those deals that Douro Labs and the Pyth Network, of which Douro is a core contributor to, have just recently made. But first, can we start with maybe a little bit of an explanation about the importance of oracles in DeFi and the work that you do to power smart contracts?
For sure. The role of an oracle plays, so financial data, financial market data is the lifeblood of any financial system. Every trade, every quote, back office, middle office, front office, everybody depends on verifiable, fast price data. But what's often overlooked is how valuable that data has become. We live in this traditional market data industry that's now a $50 billion industry. It continues to grow. Prices continue to rise. And that data has become a huge revenue driver for the likes of CME and ICE, vendors like Refinitiv and Bloomberg. They make $1 billion a year selling data back to the very institutions who generate it in the first place. So the industry is a bit of a monopoly, and that's models worked for a very long time. And at the Pyth Network, that's really what we're challenging. We're giving global market participants and blockchain companies that are building across all these different chains more access and transparency by creating a new model for data usage and distribution. And we're doing this across every single asset class in real time to enable these new 24/7 markets globally.
I want to get into some of those initiatives that you're talking about, specifically some of the newer ones. There was an update from Pyth Network just a few weeks ago where it announced a partnership with Kalshi to bring prediction market data on chain. Obviously, we saw a huge rise in the focus on prediction markets in the last year or so. So can you discuss that new partnership and sort of what it unlocks?
Yeah, for sure. You're exactly right. There's been a lot of the rise of prediction markets has been fun. It's been exciting. You see the deal ICE made with Polymarket. Kalshi just is following a $300 million raise at I think a $5 billion valuation now. And yeah, the Pyth Network, we partnered with Kalshi, the first federally regulated event exchange platform, where we're now delivering real-time prediction market data across our distribution channel, which is 110 blockchains. And this is really the first time that regulated event data will be streamed on chain at scale. And what that does is it unlocks a new dimension of financial infrastructure where developers, institutions, protocols can now build applications that are powered by real-time probabilities of future outcomes that Kalshi has as part of their offering. And so Kalshi joined Pyth as a first-party publisher, and that expands our offering beyond for market data, beyond asset prices, into this new realm, this new exciting realm of events, which includes everything: politics, economics, sports, crypto, culture, etc. So I think by combining Kalshi's events markets with Pyth's on-chain distribution, a new category of financial primitives emerges where these events become more liquid and they become tradable inputs. So it's very exciting.
I want to talk about another recent update. Pyth announced a partnership with the Department of Commerce to bring economic data on chain. And at the time, Pyth called it a critical step forward in the public sector's embrace of decentralized infrastructure. What does that move mean for this data? Walk us through some of the benefits for the public sector to take on this new initiative.
For sure. Yeah, that was, I think, a historic milestone for us, but not just for Pyth, but I think for the broader financial system and the broader blockchain markets, because it shows how serious that the government and Howard Lutnick and his staff at the Department of Commerce is looking at the blockchain and using blockchain as a tool for economic expansion. And I think it's a big deal because us as a strategic partner in this collaboration, we can help redefine America's data infrastructure and make our data, our economic data, GDP data, a more accessible and more open, more transparent. And it goes the same with any other kinds of data. These economic data prints these different asset classes from equities to FX commodities. A lot of this data is behind paywalls. A lot of it's very siloed. A lot of it is very expensive. And it's the institution to get this data in real time the quickest are the institutions who have the biggest wallets that could afford low latency data. So they could power their businesses and they could power their clients, their hedge funds and asset managers. What this does is help put everyone on a more of an even playing field across the globe, where everyone through Pyth can now get access to this real-time important data, and they could use that to power whatever application they're building, whatever development that they're looking into. So yeah, it's really exciting. And I think it's a great win for data transparency.
Yeah. To sort of go to what this all means in the larger scope, I mean, it sounds in some ways that you're going after the Refinitives, the Bloomberg terminals, the LSEGs of the world. Is that sort of your goal here, is to sort of disrupt that traditional means of data distribution? What does it look like in terms of competing with TradFi versus working alongside TradFi?
I think there's ways for us to partner, and we are partnering with a lot of the big institutions. After the announcement with the Department of Commerce, we have spoken to a lot of the big exchanges, a lot of the big OTC venues, different interdealer brokers, and we're partnered with exchanges themselves. So beyond the market makers, we do have collaborations and partnerships with regulated equity exchanges like CBOE and IEX, MEMX, and MIAX. So there's certainly a way for them to partner with us. A lot of these exchanges are in the business of data distribution. Their business is making money through people using their data. So they see this as a whole new audience, a whole new channel to expand their data offering. And that's where Pyth comes to play, where we could be an on-chain distribution for them. Now, on the other hand, Pyth is also a data producer. We produce our own alternative data sets that could look like a competitor to the data that you have to buy in bundles from a Refinitiv or a Bloomberg or a FactSet. And we started to do this on the DeFi side. If we wanted DeFi to grow, it needed the same caliber of verifiable real-time data that currently powers our global financial markets today across every asset class. And today, that data is extremely expensive. It's extremely siloed. It's locked behind paywalls and licensing deals that's controlled by a few of these centralized institutions. And it's really why we built Pyth. I think for the first time, we're making this real-time institutional grade data more open, accessible, and verifiable on chain. And what this does is enable innovation. New companies, new developers, protocols can use our data to build entirely new financial products that unlocks innovation that just wasn't possible before. Because I think the next generation of these blockchain markets can't run on the legacy siloed expensive data that's locked behind these walled gardens that you might have to buy from a Refinitiv or a FactSet. And that's why we're focused on building what I think could be the most comprehensive global financial data network, not just for DeFi, but I think in the general financial industry. And our goal, our mission, our vision is to create a single source of truth for all financial data.
All right, that's all for Crypto World today. We're back again tomorrow, and we'll see you then.